Alan Wake is a third person action psychological thriller, or so it says on the box. I think this game was supposed to be scary, but wasn't in my opinion. I've watched kid movies that were creepier than this game. Hello, Coraline. That being said, Alan Wake was a decent game, and I overall enjoyed it. Starting with my most positive point, this game is graphically amazing for the time and looks better than some modern games, Hello Rise of Kong, and ran pretty smoothly, although on two occasions in car driving sections, my vehicle got stuck on literally nothing and I had to proceed on foot. Other than that, the game ran well. I think the main selling point of this game was supposed to be the story, which was just okay in my opinion, and as it was a little hard to follow at times and the ending was super predictable. Moving on to gameplay, Alan Wake was unique in its own way, as I never thought I'd find a game where you could fight a tractor with a flashlight. In this game, light is your weapon in the darkness. Well, one of your weapons, but all other weapons are useless against your enemies without some form of light. You have three groups of enemies in this game: the Taken, or humans shrouded in darkness who have a shield of darkness around them, which must be broken with light before they can be killed; hordes of Taken birds, which attack in swarms, which can be killed with light; and inanimate objects controlled or thrown by the darkness, and can be defeated with light, such as flying barrels, vehicles, and even tractor tires. I can't tell you how annoying it was to be killed by a flying tractor tire. To combat the darkness, the player has many options, but your primary will usually be a flashlight, either the normal, heavy duty, or lantern flashlight, which each has an increase in strength and duration but require more batteries. Thankfully, all flashlights will recharge on their own, but during combat you'll have to change batteries from time to time, with a maximum holding capacity of 20. You can also use flashbang grenades, which eliminate most enemies within its blast range and weaken stronger enemies. You also have flares, which can be used in two ways: either holding them, which prevents enemies from attacking you, or tossing them on the ground as a light source if you're trying to crowd control. And finally, in your inventory, you have the flare gun, which shoots flares exploding on impact. It works similar to a handheld flare, except it actually kills enemies instead of just breaking their shield. Once an enemy's shield has been broken, you can then shoot them, or sometimes flee if you're low on ammo. Scattered around the game are various light sources, some of which are safe checkpoints, and others are things such as floodlights, which can be weaponized. And for some of these, you must turn on a generator before you can use them. Moving on to weapons, apart from your aforementioned weapons, you have a revolver pistol, a hunting rifle, and two shotguns, both a double barrel and a pump action. And yeah, that's it. Ammo can be found scattered around the game and is pretty plentiful, so you'll seldom run dry. Some complaints I do have is that A, you have no sort of melee attack, not even a simple shove to get enemies out of your face. B, the dodge button didn't seem to always work, which was frustrating. And C, the combat was pretty repetitive, with very little enemy variety. You have normal Taken that can both melee and throw weapons, strong Taken with extra health, which can only melee, although you can although can shrug off your flashlight beam and charge you, my apologies there, and fast Taken, which move really fast. Whoopee. I think the devs realized this towards the end of the game, that they hadn't done much to change up gameplay, so they added a somewhat short vehicular combat section to the last chapter where you run over Taken and fight a monster truck with your headlights. A repeating theme which got on my nerves was the plot armor of how Alan kept losing his weapons in various ways. Some were just stupid decision making on his part, such as leaving his pistol on a car's dashboard, yet somehow losing all his weapons instead of just the revolver, or the game just taking away your firearms without explanation. It was almost like the game was saying, hey, we didn't want the game to be too easy, but we were just running low on ideas, so we're just going to take away your guns. It got old pretty quick. This game also has collectibles scattered around in the form of coffee thermoses, and there were many references to coffee in the game, so I guess the devs really like coffee. Added a nice comedic touch. Also scattered around are manuscript pages, which is part of the game's story, but also adds some insight on characters and events going on off screen or in the past, while also revealing near future events in the game, although some can only be found on the Nightmare mode, which I did not play. Overall, despite my complaints, Alan Wake was a decent game, earning a 7.6 out of 10 from me. Not bad. Well, folks, that's all for me today. For any newcomers here, I mostly play, review, and discuss zombie and horror games, so feel free to check out some of my other content if that sounds interesting. Always remember that Jesus loves you all. Peace.